Good evening. I want to open the Allegany County Board of Education meeting for June 11th, 2024. I'd like you all to stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Llewellyn, we need the reading of closed session summary for executive session held May 7th, 2024.
The Allegany County Board of Education met in closed session on May 7th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. here at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to consult with legal counsel, discuss a personnel matter, and engage in administrative function. All 5 board members were in attendance. The topics discussed were Supervisor of Transportation, Assistant Supervisor of Special Education, Pupil Personnel Workers, Summer Work Hours, Allegany High School Ground Lease Property, Employee Appeal, Use of Facility Policy.
Thank you. Next, we're moving on to the consent agenda. I'll need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Ms. Bender?
Second.
Lori Lepley, second. All those in favor? Passed. Superintendent's report.
I'll check the superintendent. Sorry, isn't it?
Okay. Under the superintendent's report, I'll be reading the list of the 2024 retirees. If you're in the audience, would you please come up to Ms. Bender to receive the certificate? First is Leslie Martin, 39 years, teacher at Mountain Ridge. Second is Mr. Eugene Postolsky, pupil personnel worker at Fort Hill. Whatever you want to do, Gene. Andrea Roberts, 39 years, teacher at Bel Air. Linda Lewis, 38 years, teacher at Flintstone. Leanne Alter, 36 years, teacher at Braddock. Roberta Brown, 36 years, teacher at Westmar. Pamela Edwards, 35 years, secretary at Operations. Marion McDonald, 35 years, teacher at John Humbird. Mark Sprouse, 35 years, teacher at Bel Air. Lois Elkins, 34 years, custodian at Bell. Deborah Frankenberry, 33 years, teacher at West Side. Catherine Buskirk, 32 years, supervisor, central office. Katie Lee. Autumn Merrick, 32 years, principal at Bel Air. Lori Lafferty, 32 years, secretary at Westmar. John Logston, 32 years, supervisor, central office. Lisa Stevenson, 32 years, principal, Cache Valley Elementary. Steve Wilson, 32 years, director at central office. Kristen Brown, 31 years, teacher at Westmar. Pamela Bittner, 30 years, teacher at Career Center. Douglas Knotts, 30 years, teacher at Bell. Tina Mowry, 30 years, teacher at Fort Hill. Kelly Davis, 29 years, teacher at Allegany. Kathleen Eric, assistant supervisor, central office, 29 years. Kimberly McKenzie, 29 years, instructional assistant, Cache Valley. Cassandra Clark, 28 years, instructional assistant, Washington. Ramona Middleton, 28 years, cafeteria manager, West Side. Gary Irons, 27 years, teacher at Braddock. Brenda Rice, 27 years, payroll administrative assistant. David Bogey, 26 years, maintenance. Jennifer Bosnell Clark, 26 years, teacher at Mountain Ridge. Tracy Downett, 26 years, teacher at Braddock. Diane Harris, 26 years, teacher at Bell. Douglas Baker, 24 years, teacher at Mountain Ridge. Kimberly Preston, 22 years, secretary at Bell. Kristen Grabenstein, 21 years, instructional assistant, Mountain Ridge. Kenneth Howell, 21 years, foreman in maintenance. Ann Hazaro, 21 years, teacher at Fort Hill. Carol Logston, 21 years, teacher at Mount Savage. Betsy Eastham, 20 years, secretary at Washington. Tamara Thompson, 20 years, teacher at Mount Savage. Eileen McCann, 19 years, teacher at Cache Valley. Karen Guthrie, 18 years, teacher at Frost. Deborah Markley, 18 years, instructional assistant. Sherry Hovatter, 16 years, cafeteria assistant, Allegany. Carolyn Jose, 16 years, teacher at Westmar. Ronald Gurley, 15 years, custodian at Washington. Linda Kirkwood, 14 years, teacher at Bell. Charlene Schingler Beeman, 14 years, teacher at South Penn. Randall Larry, 10 years, teacher at Braddock. And Ellen Combs, 9-year instructor. Oh, sorry. Ellen Combs, 9 years, instructional assistant at Northeast.
19.
19 years.
That one was 19 years. That's a misprint.
Oh, misprint, sorry. 19 years.
Yep.
Thank you all for all your service. Like I said before, there's not a better thing to do than I think, bring kids along and be an instructor for kids and make them better in this world. So thank you all. We really appreciate it. Next on the agenda is the recognition of the track and field. Ms. Tracy Leonard, Supervisor of Athletics. Tracy.
George Brown is doing it.
George, you're here to.
First of all, congratulations
George.
to all. First of all, congratulations to all student athletes recognized today for your state championships. And I realize the softball team is not in here, but congratulations. So for Brandy and Avery, on behalf of the entire track and field coaching staff, congratulations to each of you, as each of you helped propel the Allegany girls to a second place team finish in the Maryland 1A meet. And that was the highest finish ever by an Allegany girls track and field team in the state meet. Brandy earned the three-peat in the shot put, and she also placed second in the discus and established a new school record in the event at the state track meet. So, Brandy Gotchnauer. Avery established personal best times as she reestablished school records in the 100, 200, and 400 at this year's state meet. She has tied the state individual championships for a junior by earning 10 track and field titles. And we're certainly not going to stand here and, want to jinx her for next year, but she has the opportunity to be a record breaker next year in the state of Maryland as far as individual state championships. So, Brandy, best wishes to you as you continue your career as a student athlete at Towson University. And best wishes to Avery as she will be competing in the heptathlon. That's a 7 event in the New Balance National Track and Field Meet in Philadelphia on Thursday and Friday of this week. So to both of you, congratulations and thank you so much to what you have meant to the Allegany High School track and field program.
I do have a question. You two can come on up here just for a second. Come on up to the microphone for a moment. Brandy, I want to start with you. How close was second?
I'm honestly not sure. I think it was like 2 feet off or something like that.
Okay, which is a pretty good distance in shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to Towson. What are you studying?
I'm gonna be studying psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And your events, and you you did a shot put. Was this? Have you been doing or the discus also? Have you been doing the discus all along?
Yeah.
Okay. Avery, what was your best event?
Probably, well, for myself, I think it was like the 400 in terms of my time, but I think like overall in terms of like from first place to second place was long jump.
Long jump. And your favorite event to compete in, just personally, regardless of competition, do you have a favorite?
I think it's the 400 because it's like kind of like challenging, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of fun to run.
And do you have any idea what you want to study? I know you're only a junior, but I ask students this question because I think it's important. At least you can change your mind, but at least what are you thinking about?
Probably something in like business or like sports medicine.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to both of you and your family. I know your family, everybody, you have to get you have to have that support to be, to get where both of you have gotten, and also your administration, your coaches, and everybody in your community that's been involved. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next, we have Coach Zach Alkire, Chris Morgan, and Sarah Bennett, and the principal of Fort Hill, Candy Cannon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How's everybody? Good, good. So I guess we're here to talk about Carter and Maley. We'll talk about Carter first. It's not good to say about him. He's probably, I'd say, the most decorated athlete at Fort Hill history, and having 8 state championships between football, wrestling, and track. So he's a pretty accomplished guy. Going to get to go to Fordham this year. Won his last state championship with the discus. I was watching the track events, watching Avery do her thing, and look over my shoulder, and I thought I saw one of those discs over top RFK Stadium. So what did you throw? 189.3. So pretty impressive young man. You got Maley. She won 2 state championships in the triple and the high jump, second high jump championship. So she's well on her way too, as being pretty accomplished. Both really smart kids, do really well in school, and great people overall. So love to have Carter back another year. Happy to have Maley back another year. But pretty impressive people.
What was the record for the discus?
189.3.
No,
Before that? Oh, yeah.
that's what I mean. Nobody even.
35 feet, I think, was the next closest kid. He would have won the state championship in all 4 classes.
That's what I thought I was reading. It made no difference.
There was a kid, I think 183 maybe, and 3A, but no one close.
Are you going to throw too? My golly. Just for the heck of it? No? Okay. And tell me about the high, it was a high jump? Yep. PR'd, right?
Not for high jump, for triple jump.
Triple jump?
I got 36.10, which was kind of surprising.
It's kind of crazy.
Because I thought I'd screwed it all up because my foot was behind me, but actually he made it pretty far.
In the high jump,
5'2",
what's your PR?
5'6", so it's
Oh, so you have room.
Yeah.
You're a junior, right? Yeah.
She
Right.
did a great job with load management. She plays softball too, so
Yeah.
softball plus jumping 3 events, and we throw in some relays from time to time, so she did a great job with that as well.
I meant to say this I thought everybody was going to stay, but when you go to the state championship and you PR or come close to PR, you're peaking at the right time. That always, I know it brings the best out of everybody, but that doesn't always happen. And the PR on top of, especially you next year, which you will, and Carter this year on the way out, to be able to do that, something special.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Carter, congratulations and good luck.
What's your favorite, triple or high?
I don't. I'm better at it.
You're better at high jump. I can remember your freshman year. You turned my head. I think we were. I was at a different. It was a different place. When you went over, I thought, uh-oh, we got a problem coming. You were a problem from day one. Yeah. When I saw you throw from day one, I was like, wow, it's amazing. So, congratulations and good luck to you next year, and good luck to you in your future endeavors here. I'm sure we'll be hearing about you being successful at your college level.
Thank you, guys.
Next is the recognition of Allegany girls softball. I see that Ms. Laupert's here, principal of Allegany.
Dave Winter, the baseball softball coach, too. Their seat there. There's a picture.
Coach Dave Winter, you get the hot seat.
I love it.
Give him the microphone, right?
First of all, we'd just like to thank you for bringing us here tonight to honor the girls for winning the state championship. I brought the 4 seniors, Riley, Abby, Sky, and Kylie Hook. The most important thing I wanted to talk about all 4 of them tonight, I mean, 3 years ago was my first year coaching, so they were really the first group I came into that are going to graduate. Played for 2 state championships, and their overall record's 58-2 in the last 3 years. I know Riley, Sky, and Kylie actually played for another state championship their freshman year, so they've been 3 state championships in 4 years. It's an exceptional group of young women. They're all great students. They're all going to college. They'll be successful in life. And I just think softball's just made them, better people. So I'd just like to thank them for letting me be their coach. Thank Ms. Lauper for hiring me, and thank you all for recognizing us. Thank you.
On behalf of the board, congratulations. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, you 4, come on up here. Come on up.
You'll learn that he has a question for all of you.
This is a group question, because I apologize for not being there, but you got to talk me through the semis before the state championship. The state championship game, I mean, even Ms. Loppert relaxed a little bit. But talk me through that game. I know the 1-0, I know the bases loaded story, but I want to hear it from you for what was going through your minds as the game played out. Let's hear it.
There was a lot of emotions when the game first started, and it's harder because, especially for me, in the middle of the outfield I have 2 freshmen on the sides of me, and the day before that I'm driving them up to the school because we had to hit up the machine inside, and I'm saying, okay guys, I know you're nervous, but tomorrow's going to be a lot, but it's okay, just relax. And then everybody was a little tense in the beginning, but when we set in, we did our warm-up, everyone relaxed, and when Abby hit the home run, we could all breathe again.
So for me, from a pitching standpoint, once I hit the home run, I felt a little bit better, but I'm like, there's still a lot of game left, and obviously my dad and I talked through all the Mardellas hitters and stuff like that just to kind of mentally prepare. And when the bases were loaded, I was like, okay, I'm built for this. I've practiced this. Because in travel, my coach kind of puts me in that situation. Like, I'm always kind of that person. But I was like, I've done it before. Against Pattersonville, I can do it again. And I just, in that moment, I was kind of like, I got to show out for my team here and just kind of put them on my back. And after that, I knew we were winning it.
Yep.
Well, when Abby hit the home run, I was like, okay, I think we're going to win. But I was really nervous whenever, I saw the pitchers start pitching first, because I was like, we have not seen this good of pitching in a really long time since the Myersdale pitcher. But I think our defense did a good job, and Abby did a great job pitching. So that really just got us the game there.
How was it on first base?
It was tense. I can see Abby, I can see Riley preparing for everything, and we came off of an easy game before that, so we knew we had to kind of lock in this next game. And when the bases were loaded, I was just like, the ball comes to me, I got to get it out. Like, I got to get it out. I was just like, come on, you got this, Abby. And then Abby locked in like she usually does, so.
There will never be as much pressure as there was in the state championship game. And with Abby Britton on your side, you always know that you're basically going to win. So.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Okay, talk to me about next year. Where are you going? What are you studying? What are you doing?
I'm going to Penn State, and I luckily get to pursue my softball career for 4 more years. But I'm majoring in biology, and I hope to go into nursing. But they said that for me to do a nursing undergrad, I was going to miss so many clinicals, and we were going to be on the road. It would have been impossible. So, yeah.
So it's biology first, and then.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, and then I'm actually kind of happy about it because then it gives me I can go into so many more things if I end up not wanting to do nursing, because bio is just such an open field. So.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to UMBC, and I'm continuing my softball career also. And I also have an undecided major, but I know I want to live somewhere warm after college. So.
Well, you got plenty of time to decide, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to Frostburg State University. I'm actually not playing softball because I'm going for a doctorate in counseling psychology.
Nice.
I'm going to Florida State College at Jacksonville, and I'm continuing my softball career for at least 2 more years. I'm majoring in sports dietetics, and I want to be a future dietitian, hopefully for a team in Florida, because that's where I want to live for like the rest of my life.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. I do have a side question. I already know the answer to this. What were you going through, Coach, when the bases were loaded and there were no outs? Had it in the bag, baby, right?
It was the state championship 2 years ago.
Yep. Yeah.
3 straight bases instead of 2.
And this one over here, I'm not even going to comment.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so proud of them.
Yep.
Really am. Beyond the athletic piece, they are fine young women who are going to do well in life, just like said. I'll stay in touch with all of them.
Yeah.
I like Florida too, I'll be down.
And were you calming him down, or was it everybody's just okay?
Well, I mean, Davey and I coached together for forever, and so we kind of got each other's back, and he calms me down, and I calm him down.
Yeah.
So,
There's something to be said to be able to go through what y'all went through, and the reflection of leadership certainly shows. So congratulations, everyone. This is a great day to have everybody here, so congratulations.
Thank you.
thank you.
See you, Dave. Next on the agenda, unfinished business. Consider second reading of student registered sex offender entry into school property. File JKCA. Mr. Llewellyn.
This is for second reading. As you'll recall, we're just updating a definition of sex offender.
We need a vote to approve this.
Motion to approve JKCA, student registered sex offender policy.
Motion by Dr. Bond,
Second.
second by Ms. Lepley. Any questions? All those in favor? Approved. Consider second reading of wellness and nutrition policy, file EFA. Mr. Llewellyn.
This is just to bring this policy into compliance with federal law. And just one small change in the policy. Most of the other changes were to the regulation, which you did last time. So again, it's second reading, just need a vote.
I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve wellness and nutrition policy, file EFA.
Ms. Lepley,
Second.
second by Dr. Bond. Any questions? All those in favor? Approved. Next, we're adhering to constituents, and I know Mr. Jones is here, talked to me earlier about coming and speaking to us, so the hot seat's yours, Mr. Jones.
Thank you very much. So I noticed that I signed up for public comment, but I'm wondering, are a few questions appropriate as well of you all?
Typically, the way the policy works is you address the board, and then the board has the opportunity to respond to all constituents. Looks like you're the only constituent, so you'll speak, and if they want to respond, they can.
So it's okay to ask a couple questions?
You can.
Okay.
You just might not get the answer right away.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate it. So first of all, I'd like to just speak as I guess I'm on here, as a representative as a grandparent who recently went to Frost Elementary School for the career day. I was invited by my grandchildren, and I was just blown away by the ability of first, second, third graders up there to think critically. And by that I mean, first of all, they were paying attention. They were all, making eye contact with me. And I had a 26-year career in transportation and a 12-year career as facility manager for the Archdiocese of Baltimore. And they started, after I did my spiel, they started asking me questions like, what's inside those trucks that you were running up and down the road? And how much gas do they take to use? And then for a facility manager, do you climb up on the roofs and inspect? So, they were just, for that age of kids to be thinking like that, I think is a great testimony to Frost Elementary and to the school board and everything you all are doing in this county, to help get our kids on their way to successful and productive lives. So thank you very much for that. I'd also like to introduce myself as a representative of a group of folks that we call ourselves the Allegany County Conservative Alliance. And we just are newly formed, and we're just, trying to get together. We sat around for a long time and complained about things, but at this point we'd like to get involved and see what's going on and see what we can do to help matters. Most of us, I'm 65, and I'm probably one of the younger guys in this group, but there's a lot of energy, and we're just trying to find something to do to help our community as best we can, and maintaining our values and our strength and what's made us what we are now today. So a couple of questions that I was asked to bring here. How is the curriculum in the schools determined? Is it a mixture of county and state, or individuals, or how do we go about doing that? Or can I get an answer to that later?
Yeah, I can answer. We follow state curriculum. Everything is approved by the state.
Okay. And if something came down from the state that you weren't too happy with, is there any means of appealing something that was?
I'm not real sure.
Well,
of your question.
For example, if the state says, okay, it's okay for a boy to go in the girls' bathroom, and the board here, in the Allegheny County Board, didn't want that to happen, what could you do?
Yeah, what we first and most have to do is follow the law. Mm-hmm. So whatever law is, we have to follow that. Okay. And then so there's no question with and I'm not talking about that specific question. Mm-hmm. I'm just rethinking now I know that you're asking about different topics. I thought you were actually in the meat of curriculum. But anytime there's legislation, we go through council and we make sure that we're following the legislation correctly. So. Okay.
All righty. Thank you. So, and on the kindergarten application for the public schools, it asks for gender. It says female and male, and then it says non-binary as a option. What does that mean? Non-binary.
I think the definition is they don't fit into the male or female. Is the definition of non-binary.
Okay. Have we had any examples of that come about that you know of? I mean, are there folks that actually fit
Not
into-
not that we would ever be able to report to you
Okay.
under FERPA.
All right. Does the board have anything to do with the billboards at Greenway Stadium that go around the stadium there? Do you all have any influence or jurisdiction over what goes up there? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that we have policy and regulations on that. Say,
I think there is a policy on it.
Is that on the website?
Yes.
You can check that out. Okay. All righty, and just in general, is there on the website a means of determining which of your all's positions are up for re-election and how they're staggered and so forth? Is that all on the website, or?
I think so. I think it's listed under their board profiles when they were elected. The dates of their election. They're all 4-year terms, staggered.
Okay.
3 one cycle, 2 the next. And this cycle is 2.
Okay, great. All righty. Well, thank you very much. That's all I had.
thank you, Ed.
Thanks.
Does anyone else have anything to respond to Mr. Jones about? Okay. We moving to new business. Consider the approval of the FY25 operating budget. Mr. Blank.
Yes, Mr. Farrell, members of the board, I'm bringing before you the last stage of the budget. As presented, there have been no material changes between departments and allocations between the current budget and the original budget documents submitted to the county in March. As you know, we built the budget, you approved it from the staff, became yours, it went to the county has approved it, and this would be the last step. So we're asking you to approve it without those changes. The county adopted their budget on May 30th and have provided the appropriation to the school system.
So we need a motion to approve.
Move to approve fiscal year 25 operating budget.
Dr. Bond,
Second.
Ms. Bender, any questions? All those in favor? Approved. Next, consider the approval for the special education staffing plan of FY25. Ms. Matheny.
Good evening. Each year, every county in Maryland is required to come up with a staffing plan and present it publicly before its board for approval. I think a copy of the plan was given to each of you in your packets. Essentially, we have 1,377 students in our county receiving special education services, 17% of our population. We're trying to staff our inclusion settings on a 1 teacher to every 12 to 15 students. Our self-contained settings at elementary, 1 teacher to every 6 students, secondary, 1 student to every 10 students. We have approximately 914 students receiving speech-language therapy, and we're trying to keep our speech caseloads at 50 per therapist. So this plan allows us to remain within those ratios. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but I'm seeking approval for the plan as written.
Motion to approve the special education staffing plan for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bender, second by Ms. Lepley. Any questions? All those in favor? Approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider regulation review for attendance policy JED. Mr. Llewellyn.
Can I talk
Hey,
about
John?
Can I talk about IKA first? Because I'm ready for it.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You were
Apologize.
just testing me. Got it. This is a regulation change that's proposed to the grading policy. So you can see in yellow what the changes are. The first is a requirement that teachers provide a list of students who've earned a D or F at the midpoint of a grading period to the school counselors. The idea being that they can then do an intervention with those kids. The second is under section F, we've added a number 9. Students who earn less than 60% in the marking period can appeal and request an opportunity to complete or redo assignments. And then it outlines that process of how you do that appeal and who decides it. So because it's a regulation, the board just reviews it. Unless there's a vote to reject or send this back to policy committee for further consideration, then this regulation will go into effect immediately.
Is there any questions on this? Any objections? David?
Motion to approve.
We don't have to vote.
Oh, we don't? It
You
just
good.
goes into effect immediately.
Yep. Okay, now I'm back on track. Consider regulation review attendance policy, JED.
Yes, again, this is another regulation. This is very small change. This was, people personnel requested this change. The regulation did say that once a student reached a certain number of absences, we would take them to court, take the parents to court. They'd like a little bit of flexibility. That's really not our practice. The courts aren't always very cooperative with those actions. So they like some flexibility, especially if you have a kid they're trying or they're working with them making progress. So we're making the change from the word will to may in 2 places. The first page at the top, and then at the last page, it says the PPW may file charges with the state's attorney's office. So instead of will. Again, it's a regulation. Unless the board objects and sends it back, then this becomes the policy.
Any objection? Okay, moving on. Consider first reading of school attendance area policy file JC.
Policy JC is back. I feel like we keep resurrecting this policy, but we had a request, again, from people personnel for a definition in the policy of bona fide residence. We've had issues with folks from other counties or from West Virginia who will have a piece of property they'll pay taxes on, and they'll claim, I'm a resident because I pay taxes because I own a piece of property there, but that's really not where they live. If they don't live here, then they've got to pay tuition because we don't get funding from the state. They're not counted. So that's been challenged, and so they asked for a definition of bona fide residence, and that's what we did. We added a definition, and then the regulation will be next. So this one does need a vote.
Motion?
Motion to approve policy file JC.
Ms. Bender?
Second.
Ms. Lepley? Any questions? All those in favor? Approved. Consider the regulation review school attendance area policy JC.
So the regulation had we just insert bona fide residence into the regulation part of it, and then if you look at the next to last page under number 8, just add in that if you're not a bona fide resident, then you've got a request to enroll here, and where to consider, and then if you do, you got to pay tuition. So just basically embedding the bona fide resident definition back into the regulation side of it. This one doesn't need a vote unless you don't like it and want to send it back.
Any objections? Moving on. Consider first reading of homeless children and youth policy JLG.
So there's a federal law called the McKinney-Vento Act that requires us to provide as equal as possible education to homeless children and youth. We do that, but we did not have a policy. We're required by federal law to have a policy. That got caught in an audit, so this is a brand new policy that was drafted by yours truly. It meets, in conjunction with Deb Matheny, it meets all of the requirements of the Act, defines homeless students, etc. And basically says that we're going to knock down all the barriers to them getting an education. So whatever that means, we're supposed to try to wrap around that kid and make sure they can get to school, et cetera. How it works. How it works is in the regulation, but that's what the JLG is. So we do need to, and we'd like to get this in play for the fall. So this will be first reading and August will be second reading.
I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve first reading of homeless children and youth policy file JLG.
Dr. Bond?
Second.
Ms. Bender, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor? Will pass. Consider regulation review for the homeless children and youth policy JLG. Mr. Llewellyn.
Again, this is the accompanying regulation, much longer, a lot more detail, but unless you're opposed to it, we don't need a vote, just need a review.
Okay. We need a vote to meet in executive session August 13th, 2024, as there will not be a meeting in July.
Move to vote in executive session August 13, 2024 as necessary.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Bond, second by Ms. Lepley. All those in favor? Alex, the student board member, is not here. I'm sure she's enjoying her summer. Any board member updates? Okay. Hey, that was quick through that. That's the quickest we ever got through that.
Move to adjourn.
Do you want to add anything? Move to adjourn.
Second.
Dr. Bond moves to adjourn, second by Ms. Bender. All those in favor? We are adjourned.